Hey lads and ladies, the Royalivi here, and welcome to the Ultimate Guide to Ultimate Champions, the technically free-to-play fantasy NFT football game. Now I say technically free-to-play as there are packs you can buy and a marketplace where you can trade NFTs, but more on that later. Let's get the basics covered first, how to sign up and all of that good shit. Now I know you're not stupid, probably. I'm sure you can figure out how to sign up. You click this big create an account button here, or you can use my referral link, which can be found in the description down below. There will be a tasty $20 pack waiting for you in the store when signing up through that link. And when you spend $20 on that pack, you'll be rewarded with a free epic card. I'll get some referral points. Basically, we both get free shit. And as I always say, when life gives you lemons, take them because free shit is cool. All right, shameless plug out of the way. Do all the usual sign up shit to secure your account. Turn on two-factor authentication and complete Know Your Customer in these settings. Both of these will essentially verify your account and give you full access to the marketplace and store. And scroll to the bottom of the UC site to find Ultimate Champions socials, the white paper and the help center. And I'd recommend joining the Discord as well to keep up with the community and the latest updates. So with the basic bitch shit out of the way, let's look at the initial drafting process. Now I've already done a fully fledged video on how to go about drafting your initial Ultimate Champion squad. I go a lot more in depth on the tactics and methodology behind it, as it sort of deserved its own separate standalone video. Link in the description for that down below. But long story short, you have a starter budget where you draft 11 common players, and I recommend drafting in 5 or 6 top tier elite players and 5 or 6 cheap filler players to round out your squad. And don't worry about the cheap players that you selected who aren't really good enough, because once you enter the actual game, there is an account onboarding process, 4 tasks, all super easy to complete. Simple things like pick your team, register your team, buy a pack and play in a game week. This will then reward you with some commons that you can then use to replace the shitters you initially drafted, as well as some MGC, one of Ultimate Champions tokens, which if we then go to the pack store, there will most likely be a basic pack you can open using this MGC. So that's nice, I guess. And honestly, right now that's all MGC is really useful for. It's buying basic and jumbo packs, but it is helpful for adding those commons to your account over time for sure. But the real token you want to be winning is the Ultimate Champion native token, the Champ Coin. Now this token actually has a dollar value tied to it, and is the basic commodity used to trade and buy new cards and such. So much more meat and gravy to it. So just a bit of information there behind the tokens we can see on the top bar and on the wallet page. Now you start off with this team of commons, which is the basic rarity of card, and this is one of 5 different rarities of cards actually. So common cards are unlimited in terms of distribution, but that's because they are also untradeable. So once you get a common, it is locked to your account. And then the other rarities are a yet to be released rare rarity, an epic rarity which consists of 300 cards per season for a player, a mythic rarity which is 30 cards per player per season, and then the unique rarity, which if you were unable to ascertain, is one of a kind, baby, just like me. Now the reason why this common drafting process is so important and why I recommend getting 5 or 6 elite players in is because these common cards can be used in both league and tournaments in Ultimate Champions, and they can then be critical into pushing you up the leaderboards. Now don't want to compare Ultimate Champions to So Rare too much, which by the way, if you don't currently play or know what So Rare is, sign up using my link in the description down below. You'll get free shit, I'll get free shit, and as I always say, when life gives you lemons, take them because free shit is cool. But basically, in comparison to So Rare, the free-to-play aspect of Ultimate Champions is levels above. You can come in as a free-to-play account and compete to win cards as well as tokens and start expanding your collection that way, which is not really possible in So Rare at the moment, but they're different games, so it is what it is. Now you can see a player's most recent scores across their last 5 matches if you hover over this little number above the card, but for more detailed information behind a player, you can select them and click on View Profile. This will then present you with their last 15 and last 40 match averages, as well as historic scores going further back, and even this player's upcoming matches, which can be really helpful for scouting purposes. So how do you actually play and compete in Ultimate Champions? Well, it's simple, children. Hover over the play section on the top row, and you are greeted with the decision to play the league or tournament. Starting with the league, this is sort of a standalone entry where you compete against the game instead of against other managers, and any card you select here in the league entry will still be available to use in tournaments. Now your players score points against what is called the scoring matrix. On game week 26 here, we can see my epic JCH scored 136 points. He got 48 offensive points, 40 of which came from his assist in this match, and then he got some possessive, defensive and club action points. Data here is provided by Opta, and then you see scores against these action categories. I won't go into too much detail here about everything on the scoring matrix, but follow the white paper link in the description for an in-depth view of how it all works. There are even some neat Excel images showcasing exactly what positions score what points for what actions, all very helpful and very nice stuff if you're new. And one thing I will mention is that keep in mind players do not score points for European or international fixtures as it stands. So if you've got yourself a nice little Arsenal stack and the Nations League is coming up, then yeah, get fucked. So in the league, these points your player score will go towards the game week progress bar at the top of the page. As we can see here for game week 26, Yeah, I did pretty shit, there's no other way of saying it. I finished in the second bracket and won 100 MGC, but on stronger weeks, even with a free-to-play side, you can win some champ tokens and even an epic card currently for 1900 points, so definitely worth entering. Simply click on build your team and select your desired lineup. You can then filter by players who have a match in the upcoming game week. Any cards you use here will still be able to be used in tournaments, and there are no rarity bonuses in the league entry. So put your strongest foot first here, put your best lineup out and pray to the football gods that you can get 1900 points and bag an epic card. Now, I just mentioned rarity bonuses, and you might be thinking, Royalivi, what the fuck are you talking about? But they're important to know about as they do come into play in the tournament section of Ultimate Champions. In these tournaments, your players will be affected by certain bonus modifiers, so we can see here that epics have a 15% bonus, mythics 25% and uniques 50%, so the stronger team you can get at higher rarities the better, as it should be. And then you even have card condition bonuses. This is basically to encourage buying packs off the market. Naturally, Ultimate Champions is a business after all, so they want to sell as many packs as possible, so it makes sense to award higher bonuses to people who buy packs essentially, as cards less than 3 months old will have a 15% performance bonus, cards up to a year old will have a 10% performance bonus, then a 5% bonus for the next year, and after 2 years this card will no longer have a condition bonus. So these modifiers are worth paying attention to as they can make a big difference to placements each week, so definitely worth considering these when buying and selecting cards for tournaments. What are tournaments, you ask? Simply put, you are competing against other managers to finish as high as possible for rewards. Let's check out Game Week 28 here, for example. We can see the beginner entry currently has 928 participants, and if we click rewards here, we can see the setup of how the cards are rewarded. The top 50% of managers will win some MGC and a common card, and then this naturally gets progressively better the higher up the leaderboard you finish, with the tournament champion getting free epics and a decent amount of champ right there. Now, each tournament has different entry requirements or limitations, and once you've used a card in a tournament, that card is then locked out from being used in other tournaments. So if you plan on entering multiple tournaments, you have to build your teams wisely. Do you go for an even playing field across multiple teams, or do you try and go super strong in one team and maybe a bit more passive in the other? All of these are things to consider when making your lineups. So looking at selecting a team for the beginner entry here, we can see on the top right of the lineup we have the requirements for the tournament. Beginner tournaments, currently you have to have at least 2 epic cards in your lineup and can have up to a maximum of 6. So this is where having 6 epics with good modifiers, for example, could really give you an edge over the competition. You can also see here I've made JCH my captain, which means he will get a 50% bonus on his score, and then my free substitutes will come on in their given position if one of my starting players does not play. So always nice to have that backup option in substitutes for sure, although if you're a bit tight for players across tournaments, you do have the option of leaving your bench blank. So just something to consider there, and make sure you don't leave your bench blank by accident. I've done that before because I'm kind of a fucking idiot. And this is also where the DNP tactic comes in. Currently, as of making this video, you can select players in your team that you know will be a DNP, which stands for did not play. Now this might seem counterproductive, but you can essentially upgrade to players in a lower rarity this way. Select a DNP epic, for example, who's guaranteed not to play, just to make sure you hit the tournament entry requirements, and then on the bench select a top tier common to sub on in this position. That way you will still hit the tournament entry requirements, and you'll be subbing on a super strong player capable of hitting high scores in their place. And then once you're done, scroll up to the top and select confirm team, and that is all she wrote. You are now officially entered into that tournament, and typically on a weekend game week there will be 3 tournaments as it currently stands. You've got the regular global tournament, so basically any card goes here. Your under 23 tournaments are then another staple to the tournament section. The clue is in the name, only players under 23 years of age at the start of the season are eligible here, and then usually a special tournament to round things out, more of a wild card depending on the fixtures and such. And as you can see here in Game Week 29, for example, it's an EFL only tournament, so only players from the English leagues are eligible. Now, in terms of actually expanding your collection and getting some better players on board, as I say, you can try and do so through the free-to-play route in the leagues and tournaments, but if you want to jumpstart that process, you're going to either need to buy some players from the marketplace or purchase some packs, both options available at the top. Starting with packs, this is where Ultimate Champions do pack drops and why you need to be over 18 to play the game. Typically they drop once a week on a Thursday and Friday. They offer a variety of packs for both old managers and new, so something for everyone. For example here, I'm buying an EFL Platinum pack for the 22-23 season, and this pack offers up increased chances of packing a unique or a mythic card. We can see here on the pack page, 60% chance of an epic, 38% chance of a mythic, and a 2% chance of a sweet unique card over 3 different drops. So this pack cost me $129. So in this case about 2,900 champ, and we can see here in my first pack I got a nice under 23 epic Raksaki. Very nice card there to pick up to use in the under 23 tournaments, as well as a mythic Nevit at Tranmere. And then I opened the second platinum EFL pack here. Being a big EFL fan, I wanted to try and secure myself some nice EFL cards, and I bagged myself a mythic Johnson for my trouble. So no uniques this time around, unfortunately, but some decent cards for sure. And you know, pack costs won't be the same every week. Depending on fluctuations in champ price as well as the actual drop on offer, prices will vary. For example, Arsenal 22 at 23 season cards had a pack drop back in September, and their platinum packs cost $400 as opposed to $129 due to the higher quality and higher value of cards being offered. Now you can buy packs directly via debit or credit card, or you can also buy them with the champ token, and you can also transfer champ directly into your account using MetaMask and Polygon. I mean, there's videos and instructions out there on how to do so. All goes a bit over my head, honestly, as I'm a bit crypto illiterate, but you know, you smart folk out there will be able to figure it out if you really wanted to, so the option is there if that suits you. So yeah, that's the gist of the pack store. Click on any pack to find out exactly what is inside so you know what you're paying for. The results of the pack are completely random, so chances are you could get absolute dross in your pack, so do keep that in mind. It is a lottery after all, but hey, if you don't buy a raffle, you do not win the ticket. It's not a foolproof way of building a strong team, but they can be quite exciting when trying to go for some big players. I certainly enjoy the pack aspect of Ultimate Champions as a means of expanding my collection. Just don't go too crazy with it, alright? Only put in what you are prepared to lose. And then you can also build and expand your team through the marketplace. Here you can buy players using your champ coin, or again via debit and credit card. The dollar and champ price are displayed on the screen below the card. Click on a player, click buy, purchase your player, and bing bang boom, he's all yours. Now, it may take a few minutes or hours to see the card in your collection depending on how the servers are behaving, but in the meantime, you can go back to the marketplace. You've got some nice filters on the left side here where you can filter on leagues and positions and so on, and it's all very useful for when you're scouring the market, especially for someone like me who runs an EFL only account. And on top of this, I'll just let you know the Ultimate Champions team do eventually plan on implementing an auctions market similar to SoRare to go alongside packs and reward drops, so I think that'll go a long way into helping liquidity for the game. It may favour the whales a bit more, which is either good or bad for the game depending on how you look at it. But hey, it's coming, so get ready for that as a means to building and expanding your account. And to sell a player, simply go to your collection here at the top. This is where you can see all of the cards you currently own, select your player and the price you want to list them up for, bearing in mind that Ultimate Champions will take a 5% fee on any cards sold. Now currently there's no official way to trade with other managers directly. The best way at the moment is agreeing a deal in DMs with someone, and then at the agreed time the card is listed at the agreed price and the buying manager then purchases. Hopefully, fingers crossed though, a direct trading feature comes in soon to facilitate easier market maneuvering between managers. But as it stands, the marketplace can still be an ample area to pick up some good deals on cards. I would add especially to check the market after rewards are given out for a game week, or if there's just been a big pack drop. The large influx of cards leads to more listings and more undercutting, so naturally you may be able to find some bargains at these times. And then finally, rewards. Everyone loves rewards, and if you're lucky enough to win some rewards, click this nice little gift box up here at the top when it has a green indicator highlighted next to it. That means your rewards for the last game week are ready, so it's time to count that money, baby. Open your rewards, see what you get. Everyone's going to have a great time, well, maybe. As it stands, rewards are not tiered, so theoretically first place in the tournament could get a $5 card, whereas 32nd place could get a $200 card, which has definitely been a cause of contention in the Discord historically. So do keep in mind that higher placement does not equal higher luck, but you know, it can go both ways, and it's nice to know that even on a below average game week, you are still in with a shout of winning a top tier card. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'll say it with any NFT crypto game, you know, always do your research before putting in your own money, only put in what you're happy to lose and all that jazz, although I guess you're doing your research right now by watching this video perhaps, so thank you. I'd recommend getting involved even as a free-to-play account. Feel free to use my referral link, but other than that, like and subscribe for more blah 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 in the future, and I will catch you next time. Love you.